Biden announces relief for some undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens. Dreamers. Basically, I assume that this is being done as a kind of counterweight to Biden's recent extremely militant policy on the border, the whole like shutting down the asylum process if too many like encounters at the border are held within a week period or whatever. So, you know, here we are balancing that out. Too little, too late. Yeah, no kidding, right? And anytime politicians start doing good stuff right before the election, it just reminds me like, well, you could have done this the entire time, you know?
Terry, I mean, these are some of the most sweeping reforms in more than a decade, and we are just a few months out from the election. And as you know, immigration is a top issue for many voters. So this is really a two parts here to these executive actions. The first one could protect up to 500,000 undocumented immigrants from being deported. So these are people who are married to a U.S. citizen. They've been in this country for at least 10 years. Under this new policy, they can now apply to legally live and work in this country without having to leave the United States first, which is currently required under law and often means...
Well, our immigration law is actually psycho. What do you mean? They're married to a U.S. citizen? They've been in the country for more than a decade, but they have to do a little loop-de-loop and fold before they can apply for citizenship? What are you talking about? Genuinely, like, psychotic. It's purely a product of racism. There's no underlying logic to it. There's no like, oh, well, it was necessary to, but it's just like meaningless obfuscation employed because people imagined brown people might take advantage of it.
Means that they could not return back to the U.S. for years, up to 10 years. And this policy, Terry, also protects their children. So you just heard the president there really talking about how the basis of this policy is about keeping families together. These are people who've been in this country for decades. They have deep community ties to this country, yet they live in the shadow of fear and anxiety and insecurity. Now, the second part, the
N-word affirmative action is bullshit. I've been black almost 30 years now and have used the N-word religiously for at least 25 of those. Never offered a single right-wing talk show. I'm calling DEI. 27 Chuck the Sloth. God willing, one day you'll get the payout that's due, okay? All right? You're gonna every N-word over those 25 years, another quarter dropped in the swear jar. It's all gonna come back, okay? God willing.
Second executive action, this is about those dreamers. They are DACA recipients. They have been taken to this country as children, undocumented, but they are now adults. This would allow them to get faster work permits more easily if they have a college degree and a high-skilled job offer, Terry.
All right, so those are the policies there. And Marsha, what's your reaction? What should people take? What's the takeaway for people hearing about these policies? What does it mean?
Well, it means that President Biden is taking action where Congress hasn't yet. Today,
only if it's a high-skilled job. Yeah, even though the American agricultural and service industries heavily rely on immigrant labor for some reason, we're insistent that the only people that we want in this country as citizens are like tech workers, which is insane. Obviously, we do have a lot of H-1B visas, people from like India who are filling in our tech sectors. Like there are a lot of Indian dudes over in like San Francisco who are filling up those gaps. But, like, we just need people in general, man. Immigration is just good, you know? It's good.
It is a really exciting announcement. You see so many smiles there. You see the chair of this Congressional Hispanic Caucus mouthing thank you to President Biden for doing this. This says to spouses of U.S. citizens who are non-citizens that they can stay in the United States.
I saw in YouTube chat, somebody gave some clarifying information about the asylum application cutoff from Biden. And I said, thank you, Dusty Poncho. And then I look again in the follow-up message. You're welcome, Vaush. Please unban me from site chat. You've been in hell, man. You've been in hell, and your, like, cry of pain reached me all the way from down there. Like, I was just walking through a field, and I hear a scream. And I look down, and I see the glint from the tears in your eyes. Oh, man. What did Dusty Poncho do? I'm not freeing him. How do I check the logs again? Oh, here we go. We got it. You were only banned this month. Was it a permanent ban? Was it a... Well, you called everyone in chat nerds, is the thing. They were banned for a year, then unbanned, then we had to reban. God damn. Quite the gap in your resume, huh? But you've been a long timer. You know what? Is God's law not one of mercy? What am I to do? Oh, I'm quickly remembering this person. No, please, no. Dusty Poncho, it seems you were missed. There we go. Is God's law not one of mercy?
United States while they're trying to be approved for legal residency, rather than leave the United States to go to their home country and wait for up to 10 years to find out whether they may or may not be able to stay. So it's just an easy, common sense thing for the Biden administration to do.
Oh, they accused another chatter of giving their dog hand jobs or something. It's after the unban. After the unban, it's like the only thing I see in the logs is them calling people nerds. And
And as the president mentioned, it was in the bill that he gave to Congress on day one of this administration. So he tried several times to do this the right way. You know, you ask why now? Why is he doing this now?
Election.
He's tried through bills, he's tried through negotiations, and the Republicans in Congress have said, no thanks, we want to wait. President Trump told us not to do this because we want to make immigration a political issue this election season. So there's been no movement on immigration. And this is something that everyone agrees, Republicans, Democrats, that our immigration system is severely broken and needs to be fixed and have permanent solutions. So he's taking this executive order on something that's a common sense solution to do. It's called parole in place for those people to apply without leaving. And it's been a longstanding regulation. It is, as he mentioned, it's been done for military families and others. So it has good legal standing to stay in place. But look, he tried to do this the right way several times and finally had to take things into his own hands.
Well, apologetic rhetoric there. You know, what are you going to do? Altogether, I mean, I approve of the sentiment of the policy here. I don't know how long this is going to hold up, considering it's being done through the executive branch, and Trump has a decent chance of winning. You know, it's not good, I would say. I mean, considering the fact that Trump's rhetoric on undocumented people has actually worsened in recent times. Did we cover this one? Was this from the speech where they had the January 6th choir out? No, this is a different one.
The 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia who was barbarically murdered by an illegal alien animal. The Democrats say, please don't call them animals. They're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. And Nancy Pelosi told me that. She said, please don't use the word animal, sir, when you're talking about these people. I said, I'll use the word animal because that's what they are. Ours is only going in one direction, and it's going to be very bad now because we have a new form of...
I appreciate him saying this alongside literal brown shirts. It really, you know...
crime. It's called migrant crime. They're having fistfights with our police officers right in the middle of streets. They're sending prisoners, murderers, drug dealers, mental patients, and terrorists, the worst they have in every country, all over the world. This isn't just in South America. They're coming from the Congo, from Yemen, from Somalia, from Syria. They come from all over the world, China. Many of them are military age, which is a very strange. You don't see very many
Dana, did you just ban the duckers?
Women coming in, and you see a lot of them coming in about 19 to 25, 26 years old, and especially from China. We have 29,000 over the last few months, 29,000 from China, and they all seem to be perfectly fit for military service, ready for military service.
Yeah, like I said, remember, America right now is leaning isolationist. We don't want to put boots in the ground anywhere. So the war that fascists have to point to justify the expansion of the state and of their power and the regression of democratic rights is the immigration war. Of course, immigration isn't a war, so they have to talk about it like it is one. Always with the invasion and they're taking over and they're so on and so forth. Wait, is he saying all of them are animals? Well, yeah. I mean, there's always the, like, ambiguity of the, oh, well, does he just mean they're animals because some of them fight with cops or whatever? But no, his rhetoric's been pretty clear. They keep saying fit for military service because it's like spooky, like Military age. Oh, you mean like a man between 30 and 40? Or sorry, between 18 and 40? Like the most productive working hour, or like years of their life? That's what you mean? That's crazy, really. That's so scary. I mean, 10 and up? Yeah, true. We're using the Israeli definition of a military age. Remember when he said, I assume some are good people back in 2015? Yeah. No, the discourse has shifted significantly. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. It's also deeply sexist, like women can't murder you. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's not really the time and place to complain about it, but I have to say, getting a lot of misandry from the whole, like, even in this day and age, men, women, and children thing, you know? X number of people died, including Y number of women and children. Like, for one, why are they in the same category? And for two, what? I know that, like, socially, practically speaking, like, Hamas fighters are all men. I get that. It's just, you know, it does kind of dehumanize guys a lot. Like, a lot.